One of the most distinguished journalists on television with more than 40 years of experience, and most of that with ABC News.
And now you see him nightly on World News with Charles Gibson. Recently, Jennifer Smith sat down for a conversation with the award-winning anchor.
Well, Christina and Dale, I have to say he is my favorite. And speaking of Lynchburg, Virginia, we both worked at the same ABC TV station there, although Charlie had just left before I landed my first TV job there. So that's a connection. But for so many years on Good Morning America, now as the top-rated evening news anchor, Charlie Gibson is as genuine as he appears on TV. So it was a real pleasure to sit down with him last week on the windy rooftop of KGO TV in San Francisco for an up-close conversation. It's minutes away from ABC World News, and anchor Charles Gibson is moving into position for a job he loves, but never really expected after Peter Jennings.
Peter was anchor for life. I mean, Peter was going to be there forever. Nobody begrudged him the job. He was the best broadcaster I've ever worked with.
That's it for now in World News Tonight.
And then, of course, Peter got sick, and decision was made to use a couple of young anchors, and Bob Woodruff and Elizabeth Vargas, and of course he got hurt, and Elizabeth got pregnant, and so I am in some respects an accident of history.
But it's no accident that his rock-solid journalism and genuine delivery have taken ABC News to the top, besting Brian Williams and Katie Couric with the highest ratings in 10 years.
Brian and Katie and I are good friends, and this is a good competition. People worry a lot about ratings. And I must say, I worry that they do worry about ratings, because in the long run, this is about good journalism.
The internet and so many information choices may be fragmenting the news audience, but he doesn't worry much about the demise of network news.
I think the mainstream media, quote unquote, is much maligned, but I think in many respects is more important than ever. Saying to you, yes, get on the internet, go and look at what you want to know, but here's still the things you need to know. And so I think we fill a very important function.
As for anchoring World News on the road, he says only if there's a compelling reason he should go, such as to the recent massacre at Virginia Tech.
Because everybody thought those could be my kids.
In leading ABC's coverage of the race for the White House, he makes no predictions, but says it will be fascinating to watch unfold.
Fundamentally, I think this is an election in which we try to find a candidate who can make us feel good again about being Americans, where we can hold up our head in the world, because I so strongly believe in the goodness of this nation.
And what about the now familiar goodbye at the end of each broadcast? Charlie says it goes back to the 5th anniversary of September 11th.
We had done a show where every single story was about terrorism and was depressing, and it just seemed at the end of the program that it wasn't, you just didn't want to say goodnight, you wanted to say something. And so I said, I hope you've had a good day.
His producer liked it. Now it's his signature sign-off.
I hope you've had a good day. It's true, you know, it's just the way you feel every day. The news sometimes can be pretty depressing, but you just hope that things have gone well for you that day. For all of us at ABC News, have a good night.
And if you would like to see the entire interview with Charlie Gibson, it runs about 10 minutes. We've put it up on our website, news10.net, under our featured story on our homepage. And you'll have to check it out, because Dale and Christina, you've got to see his reaction when I give him a little gift, a News 10 hat.
I'd like to see that.
He probably didn't put it on at that moment.
He didn't. He had
a broadcast to do.
That's right. But it was very windy on that rooftop, I have to tell you.
He's such a modest guy. He, of course, is not an accident of history. He's the right man at the right time for that job. And it's phenomenal how quickly he's taken it to #1 in the ratings.
You're absolutely right, and he is now listed among the top 5 most powerful people in television. But as you say, he comes across, and he is a very genuine person.
Thank you for that.
Yeah, check it out on news10.net.
Developing news in the Sacramento Kings search for a coach.
News 10's Brian May will have details coming in sports. Don't go away.
And it was a lot cooler today around Northern California thanks to the Delta breeze. Outside, the wind is blowing 24 miles per hour in Sacramento, 14 miles per hour in Vacaville. We have a 12 mile per hour onshore flow in Sacramento, and it's really blowing at Stockton at 18 miles per hour. We expect breezy to windy conditions to continue tonight, and that means a cool night on tap. We'll have your full forecast straight ahead on News 10.
And News 10 is still on whale watch. In fact, we've got News 10 in the sky right now, and late word is we have spotted the 2 whales that have been missing for most of the day after dazzling spectators the last couple of days in the Delta. We'll have an update coming up next.